Hi guys, today I would like to talk about macro extension tubes. I purchased these ones a good few weeks ago now from China, of course. I did not have any problems with seller, and they were cheap. I have to say they were very cheap, and they were fantastic value for money. They are fantastic value for money because they cost me only 35 euros. And I would like to talk about it because it's extremely handy when you do the macro photography. First thing first, I will not I will not do any unboxing of this because I do not have a box now. Just like I said, I bought it quite long time ago. But as far as I remember, you do get in the box manual and pouch, which I have here, macro extension tubes, of course. And that's it actually. Basically that's all you need. Types of the macro extension tubes. That's the very first thing that you have to choose when you're gonna be buying it. Like, there are two types of them. For Nikon anyway. I don't know about the Canon. First type. They are a bit more expensive, but in my opinion they are well worth it. Macro tubes with CPU contacts to connect your lens, contacts from your lens through these macro tubes with the camera body itself. And another type, fully manual macro tubes, extension tubes without the contacts, which I do not recommend. Because the macro itself can be tricky, and it's good to have out exposure. It's good to have that ability of controlling the aperture. It's good to have a TTL, fully working TTL, by the way, which is fantastic. And so you have two types of them. CPU contact ones and non-CPU contact ones. Non-CPU contact ones are probably half cheaper, but in my opinion these guys are well worth it, so I do recommend these ones. Another thing, sizes. Usually you do get sizes like these: 36 mils, 20 mils, 12 mils. Of course, different size means different magnification, and you can combine them just like these ones here. As far as I remember, when you put all of them together, the 35 mils lens, which I use, 35 mils 1.8G, gives you magnifications about 1 to 1.6 or 1 to 1.8, so nearly 2 times. So that's even more than a proper macro lens, but there is downside of it, which I'll be talking about it later on. Another thing, build quality. These were quite cheap, but the build quality, I have to say, is quite good. The rings are made of metal, the CPU contacts are there. You can even control the older lenses like AFD. This one is AFG, and it does have an autofocus motor built in. But the other ones, D series lens, they do not have it. And when you have a camera body like D7000, D7100, camera body with that kind of screwdriver down there to control these, it does work with them. So that's fantastic. That's a very good news. In the beginning, they've been working kind of stiffed for the first few times. It was quite hard to separate them, quite hard to actually put them on the top of each other. It was even kind of quite hard to put that on the camera. But after a few times, it works very, very well. So I'm pretty happy with this. But another thing is the way you install them on the camera is very, very simple. You see these arrows here. You have to align this arrow with this dot which is actually basically you have to do very same thing as with your lens, like just like that. Bang, and there you have it. And we can put one on the top of the other one to get different magnifications, of course. That's how it looks with the 35mm 1.8G on it. Well, quite nice looking actually. And another thing, there is only kind of one downside of these extension tubes. It's a working distance. The working distance is very small. It's about 2 inches. It doesn't matter what size of the tubes you have on, the working distance is 2 inches. The proper macro lens, the working distance for proper macro lens is from about probably 2 inches. I say probably because I never actually used them, from the 2 inches up to the infinity. These guys, they do not focus up to the infinity. They focus from the 2 inches up to the 3 inches maybe, and that's the only one downside of it. But this solution is very cheap and it's very effective in my opinion, because an ordinary macro lens, proper macro lens, would cost you at least 10 times more. So another thing, the way of taking the macro shots, the way I do it, I like the autofocus. Normally people do not like it, but I do like it. I found it very handy. I put the camera into the autofocus continuous mode and then also continue shooting. Then you just press the trigger and for 3 or 4 seconds you take, probably the camera is able to take probably 20 pictures, and you just kind of balance it kind of in the front of the subject, and some of these shots for 100% will be tack focused, will be just very sharp, just like you want it. So I think that's a good way to do it. Now of course it's good to have a additional light, like a ring flash or something like that, and which I will be talking about that in the next video. Another thing, additional equipment, just like I said, you need a lot of light for macro. And basically that will be it. You have a chance to see what I was able to see the pictures that I was able to take with these extension tubes, with the link down below, which is the link to my other video about macro pictures, so you'll be able to check the shots that I've been taking with this. And I have to say, I was very impressed with that. For the price that you get, it's just unbelievable value. And personally, I will not be going to buy the proper macro lens, because they are just way too expensive. You have kind of everything you need of these, except the one downside, which is the working distance, and that's the only one kind of bad thing about it. But the rest of it is absolutely fantastic. That's it. So leave the comment below, let me know what do you think. I really wish to know what do you think about it, so just you can even subscribe, you can leave the comment, and stay tuned, stay shooting.